right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings to you all from Reason Together TV. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, according to your time and wherever you are watching us from. If this is your first time of coming across my channel, please don't forget to hit the red subscribe button down below and also the bell icon for notifications so that whenever I upload a new video, you will always be the first person to be notified. This case that you are about to watch is a case of a breach of contract. Please stay tuned while the defendant and the complainant make their statement for peaceful resolution. Until I come your way next time, remain blessed and bye for now.
Thank
Ciao.
you. Good student. Okay, Jennifer, can we hear yours, please?
My name is Obidigo Jennifer. So
Okay.
I'm a civil servant. I was posted to this Lagos. That was last 2 years to
Okay.
work. And from my home, from my home to office is very far and more stressful. Most times I get to office by 12:01, so I get late because of
Take that plastic away.
passenger pick and drop and other things. So why I saved a little money, I called one guy. His name is Rasul from Anambra State. He was my secondary school classmate. I've known the family and everybody. I asked him, how did you get your car? How did you manage to buy your car from Lagos? Because I knew where he bought his car. They sent it to Anambra. So Rasul was like, I bought my car outside, but if you need somebody to sell a car to you, I can refer you to someone. Now my sister is selling a car. I said, yes, I know Antiope is selling a car. He's selling car, but can you give me her contact on how to reach out to her? So why I reached out to Antiope, that's the elder sister of Rasul. So she was like, this is the price of a Toyota Corolla 2005. That the price is 1.9 million. And the money that if I can pay 1.9 million, I can pay 1 million or 1 million plus. I'll be paying the remaining one. They'll spread the remaining one for me. So it will be easy for me. I said, okay, I have to go back to Rasul on chat and tell him that Antiope said that the last price is 1.9 million, but I can't afford that money right now because of the distance and the traffic and the transport fare here for me to save up to that. He now say okay, but his guy that he has a friend who is selling a car that he knows him very well, that he's not a scammer. I know that one too, that one too is selling a car. Maybe that one will reduce or sell what lower than what her sister is selling. And I said, okay, give me his contact. He gave me his contact. Why I called the man, his name is Afamefuna Iboji. Why I called him, but his guy name is Ocha. They know him as Ocha in that eastern part. So why I called him, the man was like, okay, I should come. I told him I don't know anywhere here in Lagos, so, except my home and my office, which I only go to. He now referred me on how to go about it and come to Oba, where they are selling car. Before I went there, I was talking with Lason. I was chatting with him, asking, do you know that guy very well? He said yes. I said, how did you know him? He said he knows him very well, that he know where he know his brother, that his brother is living inside their house, that he harbored his brother right inside that compound, that the brother is living with them, that is not a scammer, that he cannot scam you or steal my money. I told him that, so my problem is not the brother or whatever, because I'm scared of this movement and the life of Lagosians here, because them you might end up finding out that that person is a thief or something. And for me, I've been seeing cars around, but me, I'm scared of going to them to buy from them because it might be a stolen car or someone's car or anything, that I'm scared. That's why I want to get it through the person that I know very well. Since I know you and your family, he said I should go to the guy. When I contacted Ocha, Ocha addressed me on how to come to Oba. When I went there, I went to Oba. I traced my way to Oba from Ikeja and everything through Google. So he picked me up. He took me to where they are selling their car. He said this is where their husband, that this place is their business area. I told him the car that I want is Corolla, which he sent to me pictures of the cars that they have. And I said okay. And I said okay, that this is Corolla 2005. But the thing is that there is a problem there, that the car have a minor issue. That the I should wait, that the oga wants to import more than another car that will give me that one. I agreed. He said, but the thing is that I have to make my deposit. I said, there's no problem making a deposit. He said I will make my deposit so that they will send the money to their boss, so that their boss will know that somebody needed that car. So he will put it back. I said there's no problem. As we were talking, he called Rasul, he called his brother, all of us talk and we discuss. I said, okay, no problem. I know you. I'm not scared of you stealing from me or not, whatever. I made my first payment 50,000. I said the 50,000 is not enough. That the man will see a car of 1,650. Now I'm making 50,000. I said, "Top, let me hold the until the car comes." So he said I should make more. I paid him 100,000, which is 150 for the first time. That was on September last year. He took the money. He said that the car is coming October, November. Towards the October, November, I called him and said, how far has the car arrived? He said yes, that is in Apapa, that they want to do clearing. But they needed money, that they needed 150,000 naira, they needed money to clear the car because the customs, and because of the COVID, that the custom clearing and everything, they increased the price or whatever, that I should send more money. I said, okay, but I don't want any problem. If the car is not there, tell me or whatever. The guy said the car is there. I sent him 150,000 naira extra, making it 300,000. He said, okay. Ever since then, he has never called me. I tried calling him every now and then. I called and called and called. He picked my call. He will say that the particular one that I needed is not there. That I should wait. That the another one is coming. October passed, November passed, December. I called his brother, his junior brother, calling Rasul. Rasul called him. It was even that he would give me, that he's coming. I called his brother. His brother was like, he will give me. After calling his brother like 1 week, 2 weeks, the brother referred me to his wife and said I should call his wife. That his wife is in a better position to call me. I said okay. I called the wife, and later one day the wife picked and said, okay, that you talk to him to give me back the money if you didn't sell them, if you don't have to pay again. I said okay. Towards January ending, I was calling him, he was not picking. I called him, he didn't pick. I called his wife. His wife said that somebody picked, that his husband lost his phone, that somebody picked the call and said that it's in my too. I said, oh, I'm in Asaba right now, but I will get to Lagos. That he saved the number with my sister. I said okay. Now when I get to Lagos, I will go and know where the person picked the phone, that wanted to return the phone to them. The woman said okay. When I got to Lagos, I started calling the wife. The wife refused to pick my call. I called the Ocha's number, Afamefunigoji. He was not picking. Then one day, I hid my number. I called him with hidden number. He picked. I didn't talk. I kept quiet. I have to call him again with my own line. He never picked. But if I call him with a hidden number, he will pick my call. Then I now sent him a voice note and said that you are very stupid to not to pick my call. I'll call you with a hidden number, you will pick. That if you don't get me my money, that your brother or Rasul or whatever will suffer for it. That they will give me that money because I don't like what you are doing. Later he picked his call and said that it was by the grace of God that the phone spoiled, or the phone was not good, that the phone is not good. That was why. I told him, oh, give me back my money. And even my oga want to buy a car. He was like, okay, that you will send the money, that you will bring the money. Every effort I made since that September till now to recover my money is to no avail. I have to drive another means to know what to do because I don't know what to do. What I did was I told him that my oga wants to buy a car. And he sent me the pictures of the cars that Morga requested. Morga picked this one and said, yes, I want this one. He said, okay. I told him, bring the car to our office. Let Morga see it. He will pay you. He said, okay. But Morga was like, I don't have the cash right now to get that car, that I should wait. But unfortunately, Morga posted that car on his status. So his friends were commenting how much. The guy, Morga said, okay, it's 3.something million. Whereas this car is a car of 4.5 million. He too wants to scam Morga and telling me that the car is 4.8 million, 2.8 million. Why Morga wanted to pay for the car? His friend wanted to buy the car from him, that okay, he's going to buy 3 million or 3.5 or whatever. I have to go and know how to get to Ocha. He referred me to go to one man's place and he gave me the number of the man, which I told the man, okay, no problem, I'm coming. The man said that the car is 4.5 million, not 2.8 million. That was how Morga knew that the guy is scamming or he's into scamming. I said, okay. I now told him I want to see him, let him give me my money. This is the person that I'm talking about here. His name is Afame Fumigoji. And he has been, since that time till now, he has not been picking my call. I don't even know how to reach him again because when I trace him to where he's living, where he's working, where he's selling that car, the man there said that they have pursued him last week. That was last year October. That since last year that the guy is not there again. I have to find a way to trace. I have to do him to tell me the address of where that car that my uncle wants to buy, so that I'll go there and see the car. He told me when I got there, I told the man that is selling the car, see. The man said the man guy is living around here, but he's no more here. I tried to show people his picture on my phone. That was how I got to know that his oga. They showed me his house, the oga's house. Called his oga on phone. His oga said that he don't even know the guy in person, that he just employed him to work for him. And since then that he has sacked him because of the way he has been stealing or whatever from them. That he has sacked him and employed someone that should find a way. And I don't know how to get to him. Trying to call his wife. I told him because his wife is a pastor in their village. Trying to call his wife, please tell your husband to give me my money. The wife said that they will give me the money, but I should wait. I said, give me the money now. Is it by force again? He said that his husband has traveled outside country because there was a day he called me with one foreign line. Later, I started calling me. I said, give me my money. His Nigerian line started going through again. He said they come to buy one or two things. That's why that he come back to Nigeria. Give me my money. That is all I want. The wife said, that is the person, because I even like to them that money belongs to my boss. That is not my own. The wife said I should give her the name of my boss, that she's a pastor, that what she will do, that the person will never talk about that money again. This is my money, give me back. It's nobody's own. The wife said they will give me until today. They are not picking my call. The husband is not picking my call. The wife is not picking my call. Nobody is picking my call. This is the ban here. Please, human rights. That is why I'm here, for you people to help me. Human rights defenders, help me, or anybody that will know how to get to him, how to get in touch with him. His name is Ocha Afame Fumigoji. They call him Ocha Yellow. That is what they know him for. And his number is, and here is his number is 081 32 00 6475. 081 32 00 6475. Because I don't know how else to get to him again. He has not been picking my call and he doesn't want to pick again. His wife said I should give him the name of the person, that what she will do. The person will not ask for the money again. Somebody's had their money. This is my money that I just want to buy, to be going to office because of the stress. Because of the stress of traffic and the passenger, all this their pick and drop. I can't get to office on time. And this guy has stabbed me.
What is the number?
081 32 00 6475. That's his number.
What the number again?
081 32
Hold on.
32 00 64 75. Because that's the only thing that's why I'm here, to beg you people to assist me in any way to get my money back. Because his wife is already there backing him up.
Thank you, Glory. Adams.
Customer, the MTN number you have dialed is not reachable at the moment.
Where is the wife number?
The wife number is in my phone. Let me get it.
Bring her phone. What is his name?
His name is Ocha. They call him Ocha, but his real name is Afame Fumigoji. Eze Afame Fumigoji. I have my hand.
You no go remove that thing from your ear, make you hear well.
The wife number is 081 40 34 95 19.
Dear customer, the MTN number you dialed is currently switched off. Please try again later.
You have another number.
The wife?
Dear
You have
customer,
another. The wife with second number.
No, but I have his brother's number.
Give me the number of the person that connected you to you.
Okay, I saw. I should be.
I'm not talking to you. Give me the number of the person that connected you to you.
I saw 080. I mean 070. Sorry. 38 10 35 46. That's his first one. And the second one.
What is the name of this guy?
The person that connected Rasol.
Mackenzie, thank you. Mackenzie guy. Good afternoon.
good afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Fallout 1 Fallout.
Are you calling in respect of this case?
You say what?
Are you calling in respect of the case we're handling now?
No, I'm calling you.
Then call back later.
Now you can call the second line of Rasol. Let me
What
call
is
it.
the second line?
The second line is 070 38 49 9494.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Good afternoon. Who is speaking?
Rasol.
Am I speaking to Lasso?
Yes.
Okay, I'm calling you from Human Rights Office
Okay.
over a case of a lady, one Jennifer, that introduced to Mr. Igbojieze, who collected the sum of 300,000 from her in the pretense of buying vehicle for her, and she never collected any money. Collected the money, need that vehicle from the person, and we're told you are the one that introduced her to the man. I can't hear you. Please speak up. How do you mean?
Come again, I don't know.
Do you know one Jennifer? Mr. Man, can you hear me? I'm talking to you. You said I should come again. I'm talking. You cannot talk anymore. This is the person that duped you. This is conspiracy now. Supposed to get this guy arrested. Hello? Where is this guy that you introduced Jennifer to that dupe her the sum of 300,000? Where is he? How will you know? You are asking me how would you know? How did you introduce him to the woman, to the girl? You say what? How did you get this number before you send this number to Jennifer? You go and get this guy. You have this guy picture, right? We are going to stream. You go and get this guy picture out so that we'll get him arrested. This is the person that duped you. You know somebody from secondary school. You are contacting the person that you have not seen since secondary school. You are in Lagos. You did not see car shop everywhere. You are contacting somebody in the east to come and show you somebody that is selling car in Lagos. They are both fraudsters. Are you not? You can't hear the way he's talking. This guy conspired with this man in question to dupe you. Both of them share your money. If they get this guy arrested, the truth will unveil. You heard what I say, how would you know? How would you know where this guy went to? And you were asking him, so to hope this guy is not a scammer. He said he's not a scammer. And he gave you more number, encouraging you to give him money. He shared your money with this person. What end this person number now that call?
The second number is 94.
No, the first number now that you call. I want to pin it. Just
His first number is 46.
yeah. What is his name?
Rasol. RASUR.
Mr. Raso, good and fine. Tomorrow we are going to stream your face to the whole world. You either provide this person that you introduce to this girl to dupe her hard-earned money. You either provide where to get this guy, or you will be arrested and you refund her money back to the last kobo. That is what I'm calling you now. You better call her and refund her money back to her. If you don't refund her money back to her, you will see yourself in the whole world and you return her money back to her. All these secondary school and primary school, what is it called? People should be very careful. So many people have been duped in the name of this primary and secondary school friends or classmates. Someone tried to help a Nigerian person that, here is our secondary school classmate. He collected almost 1.something million. Till date, they've not refunded the money. They are still looking to track him. They will attend to the case again the second time. You bring up their picture, let the people that know him know them, give us information where we get police involved to get them arrested, and they'll refund the money back to you.
Yes, because I know his father's house. I know everything. I know their home. I know his father's house.
And how did you even give money to this kind of person without even seeing the person one-on-one?
I saw him. He showed me a car where they are selling car. I went there. I showed him, okay, where is the car? He showed me a blue one. He said, but this one have a minor fault. That they are bringing in another.
That even reminds me. Please, on a second note, let me still advise some of you. Because there are some things these guys are doing too that some of you did not understand. I might be sitting in this office. A scammer will walk into the place, in the office, with customers. He will come with customers, then price the car himself. First of all, he will come there pretending to be a car dealer. Then the next day, he will come with whomever they want to do. And because you don't know if this person, because he has introduced himself to you as a car dealer, you believe he can come in with any customer. The person will walk into your office as the owner of the car shop. price the car in the previous day, or maybe however the same way they have been going about. The day they plan to do the pricing, they will bring the real buyer to your office, seeing the car around, and because he claimed to be a car dealer, you will not go you will not harass or ask him, what are you doing in my car shop? After they discuss, he will bring the customer back again to the what is it called, to your office, and confirm to you, okay, we'll be back to go and what is your account number. He will collect the account number from you, believing that he's going to pay the money. As they leave the place, he will go behind, collect money from the car dealer, the customer. The customer will believe that this guy is working with you, having stepped into your office in his or her presence. That is the presence of the customer. The customer will believe this person is working with you, unknowingly to the customer, that this person come in disguise, that he wants to buy car from here, but pretend to you that is the owner of the place. So the owner of the shop will be on a neutral ground, not knowing what is going on. So we have witnessed some of these things. I think we'll handle the case that somebody came to report here. They saw the car on Gigi. Thereafter, we called the guy, the number that was there. From there, they went to meet who owns the car. Going to the car shop, they discussed everything inside, outside. Then the guy walked in the same way I was talking and left. Returning back to where they need to pay the car, they took the fraudster to bank, paid the fraudster. The car is still where they saw the car. After the buyer paid the fraudster the amount they agreed on, he went back to that place. Then the fraudster told him, okay, hold on, let me get to the other side and get you a receipt. That is how the fraudster left the buyer. And because the buyer had been to that place where the car was positioned, he went there to pick the car. And the owner of the car will say, what are you talking about? You want to pick car that you did not pay for? And this guy told him that this also person that I came with this money, I've collected the money, which is your worker, your manager. And the man said, I don't know nobody. The person came that he wants to buy the car, and that he attended to the car as a buyer, not his manager. So a lot is going on. Please, please, and please, be very careful with whomever you are dealing with. If you go to a car lot or anything, any place you want to buy, inquire very well, make your research very well. Possibly you can even go to the place and ask who is the owner of the place. Ensure who you meet on ground sitting there, agreed you can exchange complimentary card or number, to be sure that if you go back next or going to pick up the car, or you make any payment, make the payment in the name of the company where you see the car. Buy from car shop, don't buy from street, because you can easily go back to the car shop. If you see a signpost, the account must be written there. However they want to do the transfer, you transfer to the name of the account of the company you are dealing with. Don't deal with an individual. But I want to tell you 100% that this guy in question is a culprit of this man that collected money from this young lady. So please, how you can help this lady to contact the numbers you are seeing, help us terrorize this guy, but we'll still do the needful. How is it that you listen to somebody making hell of noise there, and I'm screaming, and both of you will sit down there without talking? That is it. So thank you very much. We'll be back in a moment, and until she provides us the other person information, they will bring it to you people to help us and we involve police for enforcement. Have a wonderful day. Be back in